I'm sure everyone is, like I am, struggling in the aftermath of the murder of Charlie Kirk. It's Saturday. That happened on Wednesday. It's been a few days. And if you're like me, it's been a few days of really wrestling with a lot of thoughts and feelings. Um, Reading various reactions from right and left and center and everywhere else, but um, really wrestling with it all and how to respond. Of course, to respond in compassion for his family and friends and everyone who cared about him. And we don't condone killing people. Um, so there's that. Um, any critique that I have of Charlie Kirk and who he was and what he did does not take away from the fact that I do not believe that he should have been killed. Um, but what to do with the teachings, his statements, his positions? What do we do with that? I think it's important that we recognize who he was, what he believed, what he said and did, even as we can mourn for our country that for whatever reason young men turn to violence. We can certainly have all kinds of opinions about that. Doesn't take away though from the reality of who Charlie Kirk um, was, and what should our how should our response be to that? For one thing, he was a self-professed Christian. Now, his Christianity is his version of Christianity is one that I can't subscribe to. I don't see how it is in alignment with the teachings of Jesus. There's a lot about biblical marriage and values and anti-LGBTQ and all kinds of stuff that just doesn't, I can't reconcile. So, but he did profess as a Christian. His wife, Erica, as she spoke after afterward about the killing, and she certainly talked about it in terms of faith, that he went to see the face of his Savior. And he always wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith. And the line that she said, and that still troubles me some, is that now and for all eternity, he will stand at his Savior's side, wearing the glorious crown of a martyr. Not outside the realm of biblical interpretation at all, but it's troublesome to think about, especially in light of the reactions of some of his admirers and followers and how they feel about those who did not agree with everything that he said. So it's a concern to me of the kind of Christianity that he presented and what we do about it now. And the thing is, it's that his version isn't, it wasn't, it's not just him. I've been talking about this as we try to dismantle patriarchy, that the kind of Christianity that many evangelicals and conservatives and religious right people ascribe to is not compatible with the Christianity that I know and love. Um, Interesting that right after all this happened, and the next day, in fact, I got a copy of the book that I had pre-ordered, in fact, called Separation of Church and Hate. Separation of Church and Hate, a sane person's guide to taking back the Bible from fundamentalists, fascists, and flock fleecing frauds. Say that real fast several times. It's by John Fugelsang. I don't know if you know him or not. I remember him from way back in the VH1 when VH1 was good back in those days. But he's a comedian. He's an actor. But the interesting thing, if you ever get to see him, say, on a talk show, he's very open about his faith, his Christian faith. And he's a progressive, a liberal person, talks about his faith, which I really appreciate. We all should be better at doing that because here's the thing. Many Christians today, people who profess to be Christian, don't know their Bible. They don't know the Bible stories. They don't know different interpretations. They don't know whatever. They just don't know it, not familiar with it. And so they may hear someone else talking about Christianity or the Bible in a way that they don't know, that it's not mainstream, or there are different interpretations of it or whatever. They don't know their Bible. That's just a fact. Evangelicals, however, do. They know their Bible very well. Oftentimes they will cherry pick, pull out specific verses and things, but and have their own spin on things, but they know their Bible. Um, what I like about this book is it addresses that. He takes all the hot topics, the hot button topics, and goes through, and he's a good writer because he's a layperson, and he does it in language that's a little bit humorous sometimes, but easy to read. It's very accessible. But he takes hot button issues like um, gay marriage, abortion, feminism, all these kinds of things that Charlie Kirk would be against, and he presents that perspective of it, but then he gives the Bible stories and talks about the Bible and the stories in ways that help us to see, wait a minute, there's a different way to think about this. Let's sit with this for a little while and think about this. So I'm going to recommend the book to everybody. Um, Separation of Church and Hate, right? It's timely, definitely timely. Um, as we struggle through this together, right? We got to struggle through this together without succumbing to hate and violence. That's just not an option. So we got to dismantle the patriarchy. This is just one more way to do that. Okay, bye for now.